Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome back. Welcome to. My name is Joe Josh. I go by iChart Daily. Today's Thursday, August 22nd, 2022. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you my thought process on how I do a technical analysis breakdown on the DXY. We'll go over Bitcoin. We might go over a couple other coins. Bitcoin's dominance. Wanted to update you guys on that. So first things first, before I start rambling, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. If this is your first time, number one, salute, appreciate the support. Been doing technical analysis for 17 years. I've been investing in crypto for almost 10, 11 years. I was taught this process by my father, who was an options trader for a very, very famous brokerage that they even made a movie about. I'm not going to mention any names. But here we are. If you remember the last video that had the DXY, I said we could potentially have some pumpage out of Bitcoin if the DXY falls back down to support of the 101.38. And if you look, she went right to it. Now, we need to figure out, we're extremely oversold, right? You can see here the RSI is telling us on a weekly time frame that holds way more value than the hourly, that we could have some dead cat bounce structure. What I mean by that is, you can see the DXY has been making lower highs and lower lows each time, respecting this trend line. Can we potentially come up, form another lower high? And then if that happens, this looks like a descending triangle, right? And in anything on the chart, there comes an apex moment. An apex moment is when there's no more room between support and resistance, and you need to figure out if the structure is more bearish and we break down to support, or if the structure is more bullish and we break to the upside. So in order to figure out what's going to happen on the weekly, the saying is long-term trends predict short-term outcomes. So if you're trying to figure out what's going to happen on the weekly, meaning this looks like a double bottom, but once again, this, and I'm trying to prepare for this, right? The next move up and potential next move down, is I'm going to look at the monthly, right? And I'm going to see what the indicators are telling me. If it looks like the MACD volume, it was going the other way, it looked like we were about to have a golden cross, it was a fake out. Looked like we were about to have a golden cross, fake out. Volumes going back the other way. That's bearish. Second, RSI. Most important thing is if your RSI is in section A, it is bullish. Even this, right? You remain bullish. I don't have to explain anything. You could just see here, we went up. Once the RSI went into section B, which is the 50 to 30 section, you could see here we had momentum, but lower highs, lower lows, until we broke into section A, and then we started breaking up again. So the most important thing right now is this right here. I'm going to zoom in and show you we are in section B. Now, what needs to happen in order for this to be a continuation to the downside, we need to see a dead cat bounce, some momentum, but rejection around the 50 to, I would say, the 51, like these lows here, and then you'd want to see this. Once this confirms here, the DXY will be breaking this support of the 101.23, and we will be heading down here back to major support, which, what I say, if you look even longer, has been support many, many, many times, right? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's not like this is the first touch point on the trend line, right? This is simple stuff. And then once we go there, we need to see what happens. And then if we could go here, and then once again, you could see this long-term chart since 1973 of each highs and lows of the major macro swings getting lower and lower and lower. So I don't think we break this next high here of the 119.94. I think maybe we could even double top, do something like this. And then you're going to see the collapse of the dollar around 2030, which lines up with the ISO 20022 and the 2030 agenda. Everything's been all fun and games because the dollar's been going from 70 cents when the banks crashed in 2008 and everyone didn't trust the dollar anymore because we were bailing out banks that handed out horrible loans to its own citizens. And then the dollar went from 70 cents to 115. We're doing this little move here. Once again, these are years of swings, but you got to line it up, right? And I've been saying nothing goes up forever, nothing goes down forever, but just look at history, what happened during 2001 to 2008, right? What happened to the economy during 85 to 87, even to 94. Was it good times or bad times? That's all I have to say. So that's my technical analysis on the dollar. We go back to the monthly. Now that you did your hypothesis, we set alerts to notify you that poo-poo's hitting the fan. So I would put one here. I'm curious if right here, see this last low here of the 45? I want to know if we break that little baby support system right there. So I'm going to put it at the 44.84. And then I'm going to zoom into the weekly, and I'm going to put an alert here at the 47.26 because I'm curious to see if we stay in section B like we did here, right? And we go up to the hike in a she, smooth hike in a she, and then we use it as resistance again. So we go up to like the 103.76, and then we do something like this, then we do something like this, and then we do something like this. Next, Bitcoin. Bitcoin did that perfect move yesterday. That one was easy. Now we need to evaluate and see what's happening. Join the Discord. It's free. Links in the description. I posted somewhat of a short-term technical analysis in there already. So, smooth hike in a she just gives you a visual of bearish, bullish, right? Doesn't give you the BS, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. It's just one color, right? Now, when you have a trend change, you usually have a break of the moving averages or break of the smooth hike in a she, and then you would retest, like you could see here with the buying pressure, okay? Right here. So the most important thing, and it's funny how I drew this when Bitcoin was here yesterday, and I said, I think we're going to go here, come back, use the hike in a she as support, and if we do, then we have potential to break to the upside to this level here that I drew about 3 weeks ago. So, the most important thing, once again, we're going to set an alert at the 59. Actually, we don't need to set an alert. We have one right here. We're going to move this one up right here, 59,635. That is your line in the sand for this to end. And then if we fall back below, then we're going back down here. Do I think that happens? I don't think so, right? Because long-term trends predict short-term outcomes. I do think that the longer time frames, like the 2-day, is forming hidden bullish divergence, right? This swing went up, came down, forms high or low. This one went from negative 1585, went up, came down, right? This low here is at the 1300. That's bullish, right? So now, because you could see here as the wings, as the swings are getting lower and lower, that's bearish. If the swings are going higher and higher, while your price action is going flat, this shows me that this has potential to break out of this downward channel and finally break to the upside, right? Now, once again, join the Discord. I mentioned Bitcoin's dominance. I want to switch over to this real quick. I said this months and months and months ago, right? When you're good at finding trends, you don't care about any of the BS, bro, right? Give you a real life example. You have a coworker that you grew up with. He's a best friend, let's just say of 30 years, right? And he's constantly late to work, Mondays and Fridays. And on a random Monday, one coworker says, yo, you think blah, blah, blah is going to show up late today? That's what I mean by identifying trends and then betting with them, right? I'm really good at roulette because I identify trends and then I bet with them. So here's the trend. Bitcoin runs up to about this 50-60% level, goes flat, allows the alts to gain momentum, and then if we were to fall down from this level like we did here, then I think Bitcoin potentially does its double top, goes to about 80 to 90,000. But like I said in yesterday's video, the indicators do bearish divergence or hidden bearish divergence like this scenario here. But the second pump, like when we went from 28 to 70,000, if we go from the 55,000 to 80,000, but Bitcoin's dominance comes down. That allows the alts to fly, right? And that allows the coins like this, where I've been saying for the longest time, versus Bitcoin has been very oversold. The only time coins go up versus Bitcoin is when Bitcoin's dominance goes down. It's just that simple, right? That's the trend. So Bitcoin's dominance on a monthly time frame, when I look at the RSI, right, I trust charts over people. We're at the 63, we're approaching the 70. Is the 70 going to be the 58%? Is it going to be the 60%? Is it going to be greed level at the 62%? Either way, I'm going to be using these previous levels here, right? Let's get rid of everything. Let's get rid of this, right? You could see here that this is going to be a key level, this 50 something. Once we break that, I think we're going to be extremely overbought. Well, not overbought, but dominance is going to be overbought at that 61 to 62 level, like it's been here, 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 and here. And then at that point, I'm curious to see if we do something like this, right? Because this looks like a rising I forgot the name, rising wedge. There you go. Rising wedges usually break down. This would do something like this, a little peak above, and then we break down. And then once again, in order for this to be a continuation, right, meaning that these lows are swept by higher lows, the RSI on the longer time frame needs to stay above the 50. So we could do something like this. We stay in section A. Bitcoin's dominance makes a higher low, like it did here, right? You can see this. We came up, we had a higher low, and then we pumped to the upside towards the end of the year, towards whatever, right? So let's go back to Bitcoin, give you with a short-term technical analysis. Once again, set your alerts. Most important thing is, does the RSI stay above the moving average and break into section A? If that's the case, and we break the 61.5. If we break the moving average and start falling down and doing something like this again, right? This is the line in the sand, the 46.67. That notifies me that this potentially could be a double top, and then we're falling back down to the 55 to 54,000. That is that. Love you guys. I was going to go over XRP. Yeah, I'll go over XRP. XRP, once again, I'm not looking short term, right? The long term, the weekly just broke into section A. Not financial advice, but if Bitcoin were to come down a little bit, when a coin looks this good versus Bitcoin, it's just a buying opportunity, right? You could see here, I've been saying for literally months, this was the best buying opportunity ever, right? This was the best buying opportunity ever. And we were at that level again, right? And we're here. And we've seen the golden cross. You're seeing golden crosses. If you go even longer, you're seeing golden crosses. You're seeing golden crosses. The most important thing is this level right here. Right there. I think that's going to be the first take profit level for XRP versus the dollar. So once we hit, I'm going to set, you can see I have two alerts. I'm also going to set an alert right here at the 1200. And then you're looking at a 23%. If we go to this one versus the dollar, do something like this, go to the weekly. Boom. Major resistance levels are going to be there and there, and you're looking at a 26% return back to the 81 to 90 cents level. That's the video. Love you guys. Appreciate the support. Enjoy the day. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, leave it in the comment section. Unfortunately, I trust charts over people. If you don't want to hear that it's forming hidden bear, that's emotions, right? You can make money when stuff is going down. You can make money when stuff is going up. Knowing the truth in the charts, right? Because if the chart's telling you one thing, but the news is telling you other, once again, you don't have to believe me. Just stick around and watch some videos. Enjoy.